Hello and welcome to Art Block, the show where we talk about art and how it's made. I'm your host Spirit, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick and easy tutorial on how to draw faces. Some do's and don'ts when drawing the face specifically, as well as a few time-saving methods when you're looking to improve. Before we begin, if you like art-related tutorials and discussions, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future episodes, as well as checking out some of my other videos after this one. Let's jump into it. So, first things first, when you're drawing a face, it's important to remember the proportions. The way my professor taught me is that when drawing the face, the eyes will generally be at the center, and your most notable landmarks will be at 1/3 and 2/3 of the way down the face. The eyes themselves act as a good anchor point and will also determine the width of the face down the line. When drawing a face, I usually start with drawing a basic circle, and then I create a line down the middle, going a little past the bottom of the circle. Create an oval encompassing the entirety of the circle and the line, giving yourself a rough idea of where your face starts and ends. This is called intuitive drawing. Now, find the center of your face and make sure that you have your line defined. Especially if you are working with pencil and paper, it's important to keep your pressure light so you don't have trouble erasing. Pressing hard with your pencil will leave you prone to scarring your paper, which can cause you trouble down the line if you're planning on inking or coloring your drawing. Next, divide your face into 3 segments. The top line is going to be where your eyebrows are, while your lower line is going to be roughly where your mouth is. After you've added these segments, roughly block out the eyes using ovular shapes. The general rule of thumb when drawing eyes is that you're going to have at least 1 eye width between your 2 eyes. The head itself, when viewed from the front, is approximately 5 eyes wide, so make sure you keep this in mind when you draw. Next, sketch out the eyebrows and draw the pupils. It's very rare that you'll have the pupils looking straight on, but this is important to understanding how wide the mouth is meant to be. The irises generally take up about 1/3 of the eye, so just be wary not to make them too big. The nose is a little tricky because everyone has different shapes and levels of upturn on their nose. The general rule of thumb is that the bottom of the nose will be around 1/3 of the way between the mouth and the eyes. However, I would recommend doing a few studies for practice so you can really get a feel for it. I have a lot of trouble contouring my noses properly, so that's something I'm still working on as of this video. Something I do generally keep in mind is that the bottom of the nose will be about the same width of the eyes, but this does vary from person to person. Next, draw 2 lines spanning down from the pupils to the bottom of the jaw. This will mark roughly where the edges of the mouth are going to be. The mouth itself does have a little M shape, as we do have a little bump in the middle. How this is shaped once again varies from person to person. Some people have a more prominent upper lips while others have a more pronounced lower lip. Just a thing to keep in mind is that the lips do have dimension to them, so if you're planning on adding shading or drawing the head from a different angle, just keep that in mind. Moving on, we have the ears. Ears are a bit tricky because some people have attached lobes while others have detached earlobes. My general trick is that the top of the ear starts at the same level of the eyebrow, while the bottom of the ear ends at the bottom of the nose. Ears come in a variety of shapes, so feel free to experiment and practice with different models. The insides of the ears are relatively complex, so just remember that they're supposed to act sort of like funnels for the sound to be drawn into the ear. Lastly, let's talk about the neck and hairline. The neck itself is going to be just slightly thinner than the head. It needs to be thick enough to support what is usually about 8 to 12 pounds of weight. An easy way of defining the neck for me is to draw emphasis on the 2 tendons which connect the neck to the rest of the collarbone. They make a sort of V shape. Then you can add the rest of the neck as it connects to the shoulders. The hairline itself should not be too low on the cranium. Remember that there is a brain there, and generally speaking, our foreheads take up at least 1/3 of our face. Just remember that if you are making bangs or something that will cover the forehead, your character's hair should have enough volume to account for this. And that's about it for this little tutorial. If you guys have any questions or ideas for future videos, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to share it around with your friends. It helps me a lot, and it might just give someone that little extra boost in improving their art. Also, a friendly reminder that I have a Discord server and do weekly streams on Twitch, so if you'd like to see more of the Blue Deer, be sure to check those out in the description. Lastly, this video was brought to you by my lovely patrons, including Mr. Eaton, Sharp Wit, Shepherd's Shield, Rocky Harmony, Kanisu of Dragons, and many more. If you would like to join them in supporting me so I can create more tutorials and content for free, be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below. Thank you once again for watching, I'm Spirit, and I'll see you next time.